First of all, we want to thank everyone for coming out this... Oh, you guys all set? Okay. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out this afternoon. This is a great, great day for Fall River. I want to introduce the people standing behind me first. I will save that introduction. Representative Paul Schmidt, Representative Carol Fiola, Lieutenant Governor Karyn Polito, our Chief of Police Al Dupere, our Chief of the Fire Department John Lynch, our State Senator Mike Rodrigues, our State Representative Alan Sylvia, and our City Councilor Trot Lee. This is very, very important for the City of Fall River when the state delegation gets behind an issue like this and drives it forward and brings money down to help with one of the number one things all people in Fall River are concerned about, public safety. And to that end, I would like to introduce Kevin Stanton. He's going to talk a little bit about the grant that we're going to be awarding in a few moments.
Good afternoon, and on behalf of Secretary Turco of the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, thank you, Mayor Coogan, for hosting us here today, and to all the leadership that's here as well. Thank you very much. My staff and I are honored to be here and are so proud to have the police and fire departments of this city not only as our Muni Grant Award recipients, but as the biggest grant award recipients out of everyone eligible to apply. So congratulations for receiving the largest award. As you know, these funds are designed to provide the critical staffing resources needed to not only better protect and safeguard your community, but also to further enhance and protect the first responders themselves who risk their lives each and every day in the name of public safety. I thought I would take this opportunity to briefly talk about the Office of Grants and Research for those of you that may not fully understand my operation. As designated by the Governor and Secretary of Public Safety, OGR is the state administering agency for federal funding received from the Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The primary purpose of this 45-member operation is to oversee the distribution and administration of state and federal public safety grants, currently at $200 million, awarded to, in, or by the Commonwealth. Our funds are used to protect the Commonwealth against acts of terrorism, combat the heroin and opioid epidemic, address sexual assault and domestic violence, fight human trafficking, make our roadways safer, to prevent drugs and distracted driving, and resources to target illegal gang activity, and much, much more. In the past 3 years, Fall River has received over $238,000 in highway safety funding, over $1.4 million in state and federal funds to combat gangs. They've received funds to outfit your officers with life-saving bulletproof vests, and over $3 million in state funds just under this Muni Grant Award alone. Other funds originating from my office that Fall River hasn't tapped into but will be able to is our Burn Justice Assistance Grant that's going to be coming out in a few weeks. We're going to have several $1 million available for the city and the law enforcement departments to solicit us. We also have more funding that's going to be... We also have more money coming out. We have a collaborative effort with the Executive Office of Education, and we're going to be releasing Safer Schools funding soon. Another $2 million was awarded for that, and another $5 million for higher education. We're also going to be, we're just finishing up, today's the last day, so if you haven't applied yet, I doubt you will, but we have funds for nonprofit places of worship, and today's the deadline for that. We have almost $1.5 million available for that today to secure the places of worship in the various cities and towns throughout the Commonwealth. But there will be more funding for that, we hope, by July 1, if everything goes well with the budget. So, in closing, I'd like to recognize my terrific staff here today, who work tirelessly day in and day out to secure, manage, and disseminate all of these funds to the communities like Fall River. My Division Director, Lynn Wright's here, Emily Haynes, your Muni Grant Manager.
Can you show yourself? There you go.
Thank you. We have Caitlin McGinnis, my Homeland Security Manager and Events Coordinator. And last but not least, we also have Jim Houghton, we have Maria Soto Santa, we have Beth Flynn, and Sam Frangilio, and Jennifer Keating. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but I just want to thank you all for everything that you do, and thank you again for having me today and giving me this opportunity to speak with everybody. Thank you.
How nice is that? That's just great stuff. Let's give them another hand. They really do help out Fall River. That is great stuff. Obviously, the state of Massachusetts helps us very much. We have a tremendous group of state legislators that help us, and this gentleman is the chairman of Ways and Means in the Senate. He bends over backwards every day to make sure Fall River gets its fair share and helps us with any other new programs we got going forward. My good friend, Senator Michael Rodrigues.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Lieutenant Governor. It's great to see you. I'm joined by my colleagues that comprise the best legislative delegation in the State House, Representative Alan Sylvia, Representative Paul Schmidt, and Representative Carol Fiola. Thank you all, not only for being here, but for partnering in this grant and so many other programs that we partner on each and every day at the State House. It's hard to believe it was way back in 2011. I was newly elected to the State Senate, and I was having a conversation with my good friend and colleague, Senator Barry Feingold. Senator Feingold represents the city of Lawrence. And as many of you know, the city of Lawrence shares many of the same challenges as does the city of Fall River. And at that time, just post so-called 9C cuts, both cities were suffering from severe public safety staffing cuts, both in the fire department and in the police department. So we joined together to create a pilot program for public safety staffing grants. I'm happy to say that all these years later, this pilot program is still surviving through the budget process. Senator Feingold has since left the legislature, the Senate, to pursue other elected opportunities, but has since returned back as a colleague in the state Senate. And with his partnership in the Senate and with my partnership from the House members, we have been able to secure over $7.6 million in public safety staffing grants for the city of Fall River. I'm going to let the Lieutenant Governor share the good news of what the staffing grants are for this particular year, but it was a very good year. And to our men and women in uniform, both police and fire and all our first responders, thank you for what you do each and every day to keep everyone in this city safe. And we really, really appreciate that and value what you do for us each and every day. I was actually down in New York City last week, and I had the opportunity for the first time to visit the 9/11 memorial, and it was very emotional. And, you know, it's still fresh in my mind that day, September 11th, as we saw hundreds of thousands of people running away from this catastrophe, this act of violence. Then we saw thousands of first responders rushing towards the danger, and thousands did not return. So we certainly in this country, we in this city will always appreciate and value what you do each and every day. Thank you all very, very much. You do it.
Okay.
You're the man.
Mike ruined the whole program.
Yeah.
I apologize for him.
Yeah.
No. The next elected official, I met her a few times already, both in her office and in her trips down to Fall River, which are many. She is a stick out for our community. She's always here, and I hate to break the news to her in public, but I'm going to be bugging her to be down here more. Lieutenant Governor Karyn Polito.
Thank you. All right. Well, good afternoon, and that's not a bother at all. And to have an excuse to come to this beautiful part of our Commonwealth, it would not be a heavy lift for me, and I'm sure I can speak for the staff as well. I just want to start by, first of all, thanking Kevin Stanton for your leadership for the Office of Grants and Research, to really take it on and organize it in a way that makes it easy for the municipalities to understand what the resources are that come into your office and how to get them literally out to the communities. And to have your staff here, it's a great opportunity for you to meet the staff of the City of Fall River, put names and faces together, because I heard a few more opportunities on the near horizon, so you certainly want to take advantage of those funds. Second, I want to thank the the delegation here, one of the first programs that the governor and our administration started was the Community Compact program. And recently, it's around best practices and helping local government study and do things that sometimes are on the back burner and you want to get them up front and they just need a few dollars to get it started. And this delegation has been so supportive of the program because they believe in the partnership between the state and local government. But the one thing I want to just announce was the recent addition to the Compact program is what's called the Community Compact Connector. And this is a web opportunity, web portal that you can visit and also see all of the grants that our state government is announcing that are open for you to apply to. And if you already receive the Division of Local Services newsletter and they have your email address, you will get a push notification that a grant round is open so that you can then review that with your team here at City Hall and evaluate whether that's a grant you'd like to take advantage of. And you can peek through the calendar looking forward and kind of plan out the opportunities ahead. I have found in my travels throughout the state that municipalities have become far smarter and more resourceful, stacking up some of these smaller grants, and they certainly add up to a lot and will complement the resources that you have locally to do more in terms of driving better service. So this delegation gets that and are so great to work with because they believe in community development, and strong communities make a stronger Commonwealth. So the governor and I are very grateful for their leadership. I also want to recognize that I can't believe you've only been in office for a little over a month now, Mayor Coogan. It seems like you've really been here. You obviously hit the ground running. And when we were here for your inauguration and then had a little time with you in the office, the delegation was talking about public safety needs, and Senator Roderick's brought forward this grant opportunity. And I now understand the history of it, having been the originator of it. And I'm so pleased that in a short period of time, you were able to apply and secure these funds for the city. When you think about a strong community, I mean, you are so blessed to have such a beautiful resource on the coastline here. That's your asset. You also have an identity here that is yours when you think about the history of this community. But the basic things that are really important are clearly more jobs and opportunities for individuals to be able to work at and earn a good living at. Schools, making sure that your kids and the families here have access to the best education. And then this third piece I often refer to is about the health and wellness and vitality and safety of the people of the community. And it's really the public safety that is the most important job of government, federal, state, and local government, to ensure the public safety. And sometimes we just take for granted, excepting all the people in this room for sure, that they're always going to be there for us, because they always are. In the emergency calls, in the routine matters that they need to do every single day to protect properties and help people interact with the school department. All the things that we ask our police and fire departments to do are pretty incredible, and we should never take them for granted. And these jobs are hard. They need equipment, they need training, they need the best to be able to do their very best for you. And we are very grateful, and I speak for everyone here, that there are men and women of this community and of the communities of the Commonwealth who wear that uniform and get up and answer the call every single day. And to them and to their families at home, we so appreciate their service, their sacrifice, and their deep responsibility for keeping all of us safe. So just please acknowledge all the public safety folks. So I just wanted, once again, your delegation here, the 3 representatives and the senator are extraordinary at their work, and they truly, truly love this community, and they express that often to the governor and to me and our team. So it's a real pleasure to be with you. I want to just acknowledge again the mayor and his staff, and before we award Fall River, because I'm going to save the best for last today. This municipal public safety round is $4,560,000 to 10 communities. So that's a big chunk of money, and I'm glad that that is available. These 10 communities, I will read them off. Brockton will receive $525,000. There's a split between police and fire. Framingham, $113,000. Haverhill is receiving a police grant for $255,000. Lawrence for $995,000. Lowell, $262,000. Lynn, $493,000. Newton, $88,000. Malden, $400,000, and Somerville, $158,000. And here in Fall River, it is my honor to join my colleagues in the legislature, and I'd ask the mayor to come forward so that you can present these to the police department and the fire department, and I know the chiefs want to say a few words. Starting here with the Fall River Police Department, it's our honor to award you $509,300. And to the Fall River Fire Department, $759,435. Congratulations. Thank you. When I was reading through the notes, I understand that the staffing has been reduced, and that means a really big challenge for those who do serve currently to work overtime, to have to always be there, and we don't want to compromise any of that service to this community. So I'm really grateful that these funds could be shared with you, and we look forward to building on this opportunity in the future. Thank you to both chiefs.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Lieutenant. With the most gold.
I'd like to say thank you to everyone, and this is really a great day, and I know Chief DePere feels the same way. But this is a day of affirmation, because it proves a point, something that we've known for quite a long time, that Governor Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, our state delegation, Senator Rodrick, Alan Sylvia, Carol Fiola, and Paul Schmidt are strong proponents of public safety. They've always been there for us. It's not just about this grant, but just anything with public safety. They've always been there for us. And it's true. It's not just public safety throughout the state, and they take care of that also. But they seem to have a particular interest in the city of Fall River and the South Coast. And the mayor was right, that we do see quite a bit of Governor Polito. And hopefully she'll be down more and bring the governor with her, because we have a lot of great Portuguese restaurants there. And it's always our pleasure to introduce them to some of the best things in Fall River. So once again, I would like to thank you personally, especially Senator Rodrick, because he's been there for us for many, many years, and it's my pleasure.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
I'll be there for you. No worries. That's great.
You're going to leave this check for me?
He'll take it, you know.
I would have taken it. I'd just like to take a minute to thank the Governor's Office, Lieutenant Governor, EOPS, Kevin Stanton and his staff, Senator Rodrick, and our reps, Fiola, Sylvia, and Schmidt, for their support. This doesn't happen without them, especially Senator Rodrick spearheading it. But the support of everyone to get it passed through is really important to us. And also the mayor and his staff, from the financial people, Mary Sahadi's staff, the grant writer, Brandon, who's actually leaving today, I understand, for another job. But all working together, we're able to put this together. And I want you to know that this directly impacts public safety in the city. It allows us to put people in cars to respond to calls when people call 911, when there's a car accident, when they have a family emergency. This money directly impacts public safety in that way. We're able to put more people than we would have if we didn't have this. So we're really grateful for that, and thank you very much.
Before we wrap up, we're going to let our state delegation all say a couple words. We'll start right here with Representative Fiola.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't know what more I can add except that what you see behind me and in this room is true essence of collaboration and teamwork and partnership. And I couldn't be more proud to work with this group of people. And today I'd like to say thank you to our Lieutenant Governor, who is truly a phone call away all the time, sorry, but, and the governor, who are so attentive to Fall River. And while we've had, we're moving forward in this community, you can just feel the ball just flying, and you just feel the energy, the positivity, and this is another example. And whether it's today with public safety, whether it was a few weeks ago with veterans, whether it's our educational budget and our needs, this team is all on the same page. So thank you. It's an honor. And let me just say to our public safety professionals, both our police and our fire, we care deeply. And I hope you feel that today. Thank you. And the Senator.
The Lieutenant Governor spoke about public service, and I just want to tell you a quick story about public service and the Lieutenant Governor. You may recall that Governor and Lieutenant Governor were inaugurated just over a year ago up at the State House. And then from what we read, they embarked on a day and night long cruise through a number of communities where people were celebrating them and having parties. I, meanwhile, got to go home on a regular schedule, and the next morning I happened to be in New Bedford at 9 a.m. for a combined sewer overflow event. And there were... It's what we do. Yeah. It's what we do, Senator. Yeah. But the interesting thing is there were a lot of television crews there, and I said, gee, for a combined sewer overflow event? They said, yeah, because the Lieutenant Governor's going to be here. And I said, I hate to tell you, but I don't think she's going to be here, because I was with her yesterday when she was inaugurated. I know she was out at parties until well after midnight, and she lives 2 hours away from here. So she's not going to be on the South Coast at 9 a.m. the next morning. Sure enough, the Lieutenant Governor made a liar out of me, and up she drove. And that's the kind of people we have in the Governor and the Lieutenant Governor, and we're just so lucky right now that we have them. Governor, Lieutenant Governor, thank you.
True story. True story.
So I'll have to come up with a story, but I want to thank Lieutenant Governor for being here always. And, of course, Senator Rodrigues, who has been really focused on this. I remember the first moment being elected, we had a speech about the staffing grants and how important that was to this community. And look, Rep. Fiola mentioned, well, it's great to see the balls rolling. Well, the ball rolls really good when you got $1.5 million being injected into our public safety. As a former police officer of 22 years of this very community, and presently vice chair of the Joint Committee on Public Safety, a role in which I'm honored to serve. This is a great opportunity for public safety because the two issues that people are most concerned about, education and public safety, is so important in a gateway city like Fall River. So this staffing grant, these dollars that will go to support our police officers and firefighters is so needed. And we've also been able to infuse a number of other things. I'm not going to let the fire chief come back because he would tell you about the other initiatives that have taken place recently that we have all worked on to ensure that our firefighters have the very best of equipment to go out there and fight fires and save and protect our community. Again, thank you, Lieutenant Governor, and Thank you, Senator Roderick, for this, this great work. Thank you.
Anybody, well, one other person we have to announce is here is Josh Hetzler. He's a member of the Fall River School Committee. He's also a Fall River fireman. He's joined us today. And of course, all of our friends on the police department and Jason Burns, the president of the Firemen's Union, they're all here with us. At this time, does anybody have any questions?
Chief, what do you think you'll be doing with this extra money?
This money will ensure that we're going to have the staffing levels that the citizens of Fall River deserve. So we're going to be assured that all the trucks will be fully staffed, and the people of Fall River will be given a very good quality product, which they always have, but now it's going to be easier for us because we all need money, and this is going to help us out immensely. So once again, thank you to everyone.
Any other questions? Well, that concludes it. We can't thank you all enough for coming. We hope you're back every other week for something like this. It would be great.
You got any more comments?
And thank you, guys. I appreciate it.